hello. Welcome to another edition of After the Whistle. Wednesday, April 6th. I don't know why I almost said Friday, but it's Wednesday. It's raining. But it's Wednesday. We here. Me and Todd are here. You know, getting through the week after that arms and shoulder workout. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I'm a little fatigued still.
I'm a little fatigued for a lot of reasons. That was just in addition to what I'm tired of. We got a good show for you, everyone, today. A lot happened. Well, you know, it's about time in that sports world where things start slowly, like, calming down a little bit as far as boom, 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 like hot headlines and stuff. You know, we're getting to that point, but...
And March Madness is literally madness.
Yeah.
All the excitement, and especially this year, it was definitely good.
It was definitely a madness. But before we get to the championship games, first we're going to start off the biggest headline of this tournament, North Carolina versus Duke. And I think Duke has completely lost the rivalry forever. They've, like, North Carolina, whatever, Duke could win the next 50 games, but North Carolina is going to hold this over them. Sent Coach K packing 2 times in a row. And for a rivalry like that, especially to do it in like this, there's no type of arguments that Duke fans can make anymore about North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, the only other game they had a chance to beat them in would be the national championships, but unfortunately they didn't pair them up that way.
Yeah.
Man, this is bad for Duke, man. I know a lot of people that are big Duke fans, and you know, the Coach K legacy.
Yeah.
You know, he has a great legacy, but when it comes to that UNC rivalry, I don't mind the loss at home. Granted, it sucks you lose at home, but when you lose in the tournament, in the Final Four to, you know what I mean, your rival. Again, I get it. Coach K saying it's not a rivalry game. It's a game to go to the national championship, which the national championship is more important than the rivalry, but they're tied in the two. They're tied together.
All right, and this rivalry, it's been, if you look at the numbers, like for like the past whatever amount of games, it's like been split down the middle each time. Like they both have the same amount of wins against each other, and yeah, that was just one thing that's never happened in between this rivalry is them playing in the tournament. I think they came close once. That was back when I think when Duke played UNLV in the title game.
I'm not too sure, but probably.
Yeah, that was the last time it came close, but for this one, and especially for some of the Duke players that they wanted this because of how they lost that other game, they said we want North Carolina and blah, blah, blah.
And the thing about them, too, like they're usually, high-ranked teams every season, but when one team is on, the other team's usually off. They're never usually on at the same time, at the same caliber. And this is the time where you've seen it.
Yeah, and for North Carolina, too, people weren't even looking at them to even make it this far into the season, but it's also bigger for the people in the state of North Carolina because that's
the state wins. The state wins. You know what I mean? Especially with women's basketball as well. Yeah. So we can't exclude them. So the whole entire state of North Carolina is winning right now for college basketball.
Yeah, for Duke, it's bad.
Oh, my bad. I mean the Carolinas.
Carolinas.
My bad. My apologies.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, but them, people in Carolina, Kale and them, I might get a text. So I got to clear that up.
but yeah, for Duke, man, it was, Caleb Love took over this game. The tournament is all about guards, and the Duke guards were just hot garbage in that one.
Let's be real. College basketball is really about guards. Yeah. Because the bigs, they're usually just more dominant anyways. Like, what's his name? Abubakar? I don't want to mess up his name, but the man that played for Kentucky, him getting National Player of the Year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he could get 8 National Player of the Year. He can get 8 Player of the Year, but I don't think that he should get National Player of the Year. Usually it should go to a guy because the guys be killing.
Yeah, I think it was kind of hard because of all the double-doubles he was putting up.
But it's like when you're that much bigger, you know what I mean, stronger than anybody, it's kind of, we expect that because we see that every 5 to 10 years. We literally see those guys all the time. Yeah. So it's like...
And
he's nice though.
For Paolo, letting Brady Manick lock him up the way he did, because it wasn't even Manick scoring on offense. It was Paolo was struggling to score on him on defense, and he's got a size advantage on him. But it was just he had to work hard.
Yeah, man. Like Manick can play. He's nice. He's been around. You know, seasoned. So he took that experience against, you know what I mean, Blanchero, but also too, like, Blanchero was the only guy really doing anything for that team.
Yeah.
Like, he's the only guy, what? They only had two guys at double figures in the whole entire team.
Right?
Yeah, he had, I know he did not.
No.
He probably had like 20 and like 6 or something, 27. But I don't think he had double. But yeah, they didn't come to play like they usually do.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, especially Wendell Moore, AJ Griffin. It was rough for them on that one. But
Wendell Moore only had 10, and they only shot like 20. They shot 22% from the three, 60% from the line. That's not even a Duke. That's not a Duke performance.
Yeah, well, North Carolina could just say, well, North Carolina has that bragging right. We got your coach up out of here. Sent them off with an L. And
they had a full team effort, man.
Yeah. And then the other Final Four game, Villanova and Kansas. This was just a game of Kansas being too big and Villanova being too small. What was it? McCormick? I think he had like 25
and
9. It was get the ball down low and dominate.
And McCormick's not even your best player.
But he's not.
You got Abaji that came out there with 21, 2, and 1. You know what I mean? And they held Gillespie to 17 and 2 with no assist.
Yeah.
And Gillespie's the one that usually gets guys involved. So like they made him be a scorer primarily.
Yeah, they wore him out. They wore Villanova out because, like you said, man, when you're playing basketball and you got a big guy, all that contact, not even when they're scoring the ball, just like the contact, them setting screens on you and just them moving around, it wears on players. And
too, in college basketball, especially in the tournament, you need a full team effort. And this is Kansas, another team that had 4 out of the 5 guys, just like Carolina, that were in double figures. Villanova only had 3 in their whole team. And they out-rebound, which we knew that was going to happen. Out-rebound them only by 6, though, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah.
But what we also know, Kansas had bigs. They had 4 blocks with Villanova. Couldn't protect the rim at all.
Yeah, they could. And, I was thinking Remy Martin was like the guy for that.
Nah, he's off the bench.
Yeah, I didn't know that this whole time. I didn't know he was coming off the bench. I thought he was a starter, and that's another thing. He's a transfer, right?
Yeah, from Arizona State.
That's another thing. We got experience like that coming off the bench.
And that's a testament to him because, he could have went and started anywhere, but he's like, nah, I want to play for, a high caliber team, especially a blue blood. Yeah. And coming off the bench, he had to humble. I'm sure he didn't have to humble himself too much, but I'm sure he was like, you know what? I don't mind coming off the bench because it's about winning compared to just me being the man.
And it helps that some of the guys that are starting are they really like that. So you kind of be like, all right. So, and plus, it's not even how you start the game; it's how you finish. And he's always on the floor when the game's on the line. So, those are the players you want. You don't really care if you start or not, but you're going to be on the court at the end of the game.
When he gets in there, he does what he wants.
Yeah, you got that for that 6-man freedom.
Yeah, so I'll take it.
Well, most people would. People don't understand the green light you get coming off the bench.
The biggest shock to me when I found out he transferred there, I'm like, yo, they got like an All-American caliber guy just transferring to Kansas. And then we'll look what happens.
Yeah, Monday night national title game. Into it. Ooh, I didn't even know. The fun fact is, this was the biggest comeback in a national title game history, being down.
It was like by 1.
Yeah, and I was surprised because I thought it might have been more.
Now there was like 2 teams. It was like both by 16, I think.
Yeah.
No, 15.
Yeah, 15. This was 16.
Right?
Yeah. And in the first half, I was like, oh, North Carolina looked like they about to just run away with this. The way they were bullying those guys, especially Baker, he was doing whatever he wanted down low. Every time he got the ball, it was either he puts it up or puts it back in. And I think they said in the halftime show, they said they got to play. Kansas need to stop playing through their guards because they were trying to play through their bigs. And no, you can't do that because of the North Carolina size. You got to play through your guards and speed up the game, which they did. And then the Tar Heels didn't help themselves with turnovers.
Not at all. The way national champions usually go, the way I look at them, one team just has so much momentum in the first half, then they come out flat in the second. And that's kind of what, tale of 2 halves. And that's what this game literally was like.
Yeah, and then also it didn't help that their guys were falling. Their guys were dropping. Like, I think three of the Tar Heels players got hurt in this one, and they only played 6. They got a 6-man rotation, so there goes half your players right there.
Like Baycock rolled his ankle at the end of the game, rolled it again, trying to make a move. So he was already limping into the national championship.
Did you see how he rolled it? It was like a loose board on the floor.
Oh, I didn't see the board itself.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I just seen him roll it. And then Caleb Love just was by himself and just stepped wrong and rolled his ankle under the basket.
Yeah.
So that's why he was kind of hampering them in the rest of the game. But like I said, they only had. And what was crazy about the UNC game, you look at the stat line and all that. UNC had 3 guys that had double doubles, and that's surprising that they lost.
And you look at the rebounding advantage too. They out-rebounded them 55-35 with 24 offensive rebounds.
But you know what it all falls down to? You live by the 3, you die by the 3. And when you only shoot 21, 28, or 22%, you know, compared to them shooting 35.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. Then you shoot only 31% for the game, or 32 if you want to add the 0.5.
Yeah,
that's just not a win.
And Randy Martin came up big. I think he had like three in like down the stretch, 3 threes down the stretch to get that lead. But then but Kansas, they did this a lot. They even did this against Miami. They were kind of slow in the first half, then they picked it up in the second half. But then you talk about that too. Caleb Love shot 18 shots in the second half, and he went 4 for 18.
Yeah,
that's a lot of shots too.
Yeah, but that's kind of like his game. Well, how he plays, his role for them. Like, you know what I mean? The first half, he doesn't really get going as much. In the second half, he just does his thing. But him rolling his ankle and it was a freak accident too. How he was literally by himself. Yeah. And then him after that, he wasn't the same. Yeah, and
we're looking at the guards too. They went 10 for 41 between him and R.J. Davis. It was just not their best performance. But look, you're looking at this championship game and you're just like, Kansas won and stuff like that. But you're like, North Carolina, they lost, but they kind of won at the same time because what happened in the game before that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, they're still gonna be on a high beating Duke. You know, that's you can't take that away from them at all. But Kansas having 6 steals in the national championship, that's a lot of steals, bro. That means you're not banging the basketball, and guys are getting tipped balls and they're more active.
And this is their 4th title in school history, 2nd under Bill Self, first one since 2008. You think he'd have. This is why it's so hard to win a national title, because you think a coach like that with all the guys that he's had, all the teams he's had, and this is probably, if you were doing the rankings of the Kansas teams that he's had, this might not even be in the top 5 teams that he's ever had.
And this is why it's so hard to even pick Kansas in your pool for your March Madness brackets, because they either blow it in the first or second round, or they win the national championship.
I still can't get over that Bucknell loss that they had one year.
Is that when was Betancourt playing for him?
I think so.
Yeah, I think Betancourt was it.
I think so.
Shout out to Betancourt and the Cup, man.
Definitely. And also, here's the crazy thing: they got some allegations that's circling around them. So,
which is kind of not uncommon.
It's not, but it's kind of funny that the team wins the national title, but yet there's all these violations that is being investigated by them. So it's like, well, all right then, all right. But congratulations, sir.
I feel like that was Michigan or Memphis. They would have made sure that the story came up before the national championship.
Oh no, this story's been out.
This
story.
Late.
This story been out. It's from. I think they put the story out last year, but it stems from 2019. It was crazy, but congratulations to Kansas though. You got that chip. All right, and the women's side, South Carolina, they showed that they were all season. They were the number 1 team throughout. I don't think they ever fell from being the number 1, preseason number 1. Regular season number 1, and they just dominated every team that they had. And this was another performance. Shout out to Dawn Staley, her always looking stylish on them sidelines.
But fresh out there.
But I think this is her 2nd title.
Yes,
this is her 2nd title.
They're the 8th school to have multiple national championships.
Yeah,
women's national championship, basketball national championship. Yeah. Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah, we know what you mean. We know what you mean. And it was, and it was just one of those things. You could never count out you could never count out UConn, but it was just one of those things. South Carolina was just head and shoulders the best team throughout college basketball, and they kept showing it. And it was really just their size advantage. I mean, Aaliyah Boston with 11 and 16, it's like player of the year, national player of the year. It's hard to beat that.
This was a shellacking. When you start off 22-8, you in a hole. You in a hole, man.
Yeah.
Navy SEALs gonna have to come get you. And then the number one team, they're big. They're the biggest team you play against, and they're all dogs.
Yeah.
The national the national player of the year is they're big, but honestly, their best player is their point.
Henderson?
And I've been saying that, yeah, Henderson. Yeah, man. Anything's possible.
I mean, she gave him 26. she gave him 26, and when I turned this on, it was close for a little. I saw it. The game wasn't too spread out, but then I saw what they was doing to Paige. Anytime she touched the ball, it was like, all right, you're gonna have to work for yours, and she got it, and they made her work for hers, and you could tell she was exhausted at that point.
The thing that bothers me about UConn is she's not even 100%. And they had her doing all that. What happened to the rest of the ladies out there? They didn't even show up. The senior, the lefty, she ain't scored till the last 2-3 minutes in the game. Nope. And she's supposed to be. She was the leading scorer of the team. Mm-hmm. Then it's like, granted, that size is just different. But when you know your best player isn't at full strength, you got to just do more.
And dude, you look at it, she was the only one in double figures.
Yeah.
Nobody else was in double figures.
Bro, they shot 1 for 4 from the 3 as a team. They only got 4 threes off.
Yeah.
And I know on what's her name, was it AZ? I think she was sick or whatnot, but all you women out there can hoop. So they should.
And you just look at South Carolina's defense in the second half. They only allowed 22 total points. So, I mean,
you see the rebounding margin, bro? It was plus 25.
Yeah. They
were just dominant.
They were just a physically dominating team.
But what's dope about Dawn Staley winning the national championship, congrats to her. I've always been a big fan of her. Is because, like I said, it's parity in women's basketball, or women's college basketball now. UConn always kind of looked to me like Duke-ish. They kind of get certain types of girls from certain areas, you know what I mean? Certain, I want to say, demographics. And now you see some of these other girls from other teams, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, from situations that they might not get looked at by UConn. You know what I mean? And then you got women who played the game that can relate better with these women that unfortunately Gino can, because in our reality he's not a woman. And I don't know if he even play basketball. So that being said, you got these women that play Division I basketball that can show you how to get to the next level and help you understand how to maneuver through college life as a woman.
Yeah, and we've been seeing a lot of changes. It just hasn't been UConn, Tennessee no more. You've had a diverse group of champions. And
well, it's only not been Tennessee because Pat Summitt retired and died.
Well, that too. That plays a factor. Yeah.
So now now we had to get. So, I mean, we've had other women that were winning that had sprinkles of success. You know, other than Gino still being the friggin' what you want to call the guy? It's just dominant over everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. Just running through, just having multiple years of going undefeated.
Conqueror,
right?
You know what I mean? So now it's dope that, like I said, women who've already had success in college basketball are able to give back and bring success to other colleges.
Definitely. So congratulations to South Carolina. They might, you never know. They might be preseason number 1 next year again. So. We'll see what happens if they can repeat. All right, time for some NBA news. The Lakers. Ooh, jeez. You know they was ready for vacation.
Why are they still news?
You know they was ready for vacation. Just the way they was playing. Bron's not playing no more. And then the guys that were out there, they was playing we got my Cancun trips booked already. But this got to be one of the more disappointing seasons, disappointing teams that was put out there. And since Brown's got there, they've missed the playoff twice, 3 times. They got the title. And it's been it's been three. blah, blah, blah.
You know, it's so disappointing to me that other teams are having success, which is uncommon for their franchises, and they still got to bring up the Lakers every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. There's a lot of star power on that team, but they just ain't get it done this season, and it's okay. Maybe next year they figure it out, but like we shouldn't have to. No, I mean they're gonna get rid of some of them, but I mean like the organization might figure it out. But like we shouldn't have to suffer and look at this blue. I said look at this purple and gold all the time. Like.
I don't even think the organization can figure it out too, because they kind of Magic Johnson kind of like was spilling all the tea the other day, talking about what happened with the DeRozan, Westbrook, and some other stuff.
I didn't like that either, too, because would he have felt the same way if DeMar wasn't having the season he was having? You get what I'm saying? So, like, don't do that to Westbrook, and he just getting messy now.
I think he's doing that because of the current GM, because he got issues with the current GM.
Okay.
Yeah. He got issues with
But it's like you're doing that at the expense of somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's already been getting hassled by everybody in every arena. Even his own.
Yeah.
So, like,
right.
Man, that's a bit.
Yeah, rightfully so. But yeah, it's just somebody wanted to make a bet with me, but they said the Lakers gonna make the finals and make the playoffs.
Nah, this Lakers team just remind me of when Malone, Payton, and all them came together, trying to get one.
Yeah, it was
entertaining, but I mean they went farther than these guys.
The only thing that was entertaining was Karl Malone and some of the nonsense he was trying to do.
Yeah, him and Kobe had issues. R.I.P. Kobe.
Rightfully so. Yeah. Google it.
I ain't getting no deep into that. Pause.
Before we talk about the Celtics, but let's talk about the team that's been head and shoulders the best team in the league all season, and that is the Phoenix Suns. They've secured the #1 seed. They've got the #1 overall best record in the league, and people they're out to prove that last year was not a fluke. And the way they've been playing this year, it's like a complete team effort with these guys. Even when Chris Paul went out, you've seen so many guys step up, and the carryover from last season just has been immense. And all these guys, a year better, a year smarter, know what it takes to actually get to the finals, and they know what they have to do to actually win the finals. And they've been showing they're hungry for that, and they haven't slowed down at all year. I think they're like #1 in a lot of the categories.
I mean, I like their formula. They play regular basketball. Yeah. They trust all 5 people on the floor. Mm-hmm. They're not. I mean, you have your stars, but they're not just relying on their stars.
Yeah,
everybody contributes.
And at the end of the game, who's going to get the ball? Either Chris Paul's getting the ball. There's going to be a pick and roll coming. Somebody get ready to shoot, or Devin Booker's going to get the ball and go get a bucket.
And they're also able to allow Chris to play off the ball at times, because now Booker's more comfortable running the one. Not saying he wasn't able to before, but they've given him way more reps this season. Yeah, because Chris Paul was also out. So,
right. And then all that time out, he still led the league in assists.
Chris Paul's always going to lead this. He's always going to be top 3 or 5 in assists every season.
Which is wild. But yeah, this Suns team, I like how they play. And they got guys that play defense too. That's the biggest thing. They got guys that are willing to play defense. So when you got a team like that, nobody really cares about scoring like that. They already know everybody has their established role. It's like, okay, you got to take these guys seriously. So
and they know that looks going to come.
Yeah.
Some games will get more than others, but if you're open and the ball's coming your way, put it up.
Yeah, definitely. So they'll be matched up. Whoever. Let me look at this play-in nonsense. I still don't understand this play-in crap because
I don't even pay attention to it.
Rewarding teams for having terrible records.
I just be waiting to find out who's going to come out of it.
Yeah. The play-in teams are the Clippers, Pelicans, and Spurs. All of which have under 500 winning percentage.
So if you under 500, why are you even in the running? Like, the play-in should happen if there's like a situation where some teams are some teams have the same record, and they're right above 500, you know what I mean, or above the cusp of not making the playoffs. That's different. But if these teams ain't even 500, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's trash. It's trash. I don't like it at all. Complete trash.
But I think what it is though, they already have the format, so they're probably trying to keep it like that. But you don't have to when these teams aren't even winning.
Yeah, I think it was cool for the bubble. in the bubble.
Something different.
Yeah, but as far as like we can't be having teams. I mean, at least in the East. So the East in the play-in, we got Brooklyn 41-38, Atlanta 41-38, Charlotte 40-39. That's pretty reasonable. That's pretty reasonable.
40-39. I didn't hear. They're above 500.
These dudes in the West, well, we got 39-40, 35-44, 34-45.
35-44. You should be sitting up here with us.
Legit though, you need to get ready.
That was just like, excuse me, like what team is that? The Pelicans?
Who was that? I think so. 35-45 was the Pelicans.
That's that Zion nonsense, man. They hoping he can come back. He hoping come back this season. They can get the.
He ain't coming back.
For one, the league gotta stop trying to squeeze everything they can out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just relax. For you injure these people.
Yeah,
That's
he ain't coming. He ain't coming. He ain't coming.
All right.
Get out of here. All right. Lastly, Celtics moved into second place in the East. They've had a good stretch to the end of the season. I believe if the playoffs were to start today, I think they would be playing the winner of. I think they'll be playing the Cavs.
I mean,
which is not a bad matchup.
Not at all. I love how they're playing. But the only question I have, since they have the new pieces and they're seeing a lot of teams for the first time with these new pieces, how many teams have they seen twice with these pieces? And they're still smacking them like this.
I think they've seen every East team twice.
I ain't with the East.
What?
Because they only play the West so many times.
Yeah. They haven't played. They play all the West teams. They played once.
Before they had it.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm worried about. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people getting so high on this, which is great. Like, I love the success they're having. But what happens when teams start scheming? You know what I'm saying? And start really understanding some of these guys. Yeah. That's all.
We'll see what happens. But if they play the Cavs in the first round, I like their chances to get there. Plus, the East is just very unpredictable. I don't know. I don't know. The only thing that worries me is Embiid and Giannis, because of the way they've been playing this year. It's just like they don't got the size to stop them dudes.
But the thing about Embiid is it doesn't matter how much he scores. Sometimes his team's just not gonna contribute. The pieces aren't gonna contribute as much as they should now.
And you got Captain Disappear on your team too.
And then you got Giannis, whose role players already know what it's like to win. Yeah. They know what it takes to get over the hump. And the analysts talk about it all the time. There's a certain energy about the Bucks that they're relaxed. They never panic because they know, like, bro, we won it last year. We know what it takes.
Their best players doing dad jokes in post-game conferences.
and somebody got to help him pick some better ones. Because I watched how he introduces, himself to the press, and I heard one joke, and I was like, oh man, it was the boogie with the tissue. I put a boogie in, and I was like, come on, dog. I heard that in school the other day. Yeah, he needs to talk it over with his PR person or something. I figure out some better. At least get him to laugh.
But yeah, but still, when you got this dude, you got your best player coming out and joking like that, win or lose, it's like, all right. It's
good energy.
Yeah, very, very polite.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind hearing a dad joke once a day. Wouldn't bother me none.
It wouldn't either.
Something funny.
Even if it's corny, I'd be like, damn.
Yeah, because you just need that looseness and that camaraderie, because you're gonna have some teammates that are super serious, some guys that are goofy, and it's all right. Like, you need all those personalities to honestly have a winning team.
Definitely. All right, quickly, we're going to get a little bit into some NFL news right now, just some quick one. The Rams, they always got money. Even though I don't understand.
Always got money.
I don't understand how
because they play in LA.
I don't understand how these dudes be having monies. They always talk about salary cap, but these dudes just throw out contracts like it's nothing. You're like, yo, what's this salary cap?
They be digging that money up under the ground out there.
Legit though.
But it is the price. LA's that's the money maker. That's a big time market. So they got some stashes somewhere.
Yeah, and they added another All-Pro defensive player in Bobby Wagner to their group. I know they lost. They lost Von Miller to these guys, the Bills. But you add Bobby Wagner, so they got a 7-time All-Pro, 7 or 8-time All-Pro on defensive line. You got a 6-time All-Pro at linebacker, and you got a 3-time All-Pro in the secondary.
Why would Von Miller go to Buffalo?
Because they offered him like $160 million.
How much was he getting with the Rams?
I don't think they were going to offer him that much. It was like 80-something million guaranteed or something. Yeah, they threw a lot of money at him that he couldn't say no.
I'm like a good amount to live in the heat, the warm, or a lot of, or a buku of money live in the cold.
But you know, he was in Denver all those years, so.
Oh yeah, he accustomed.
So he don't care. But that was the thing. They threw a whole lot of money at him that he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, you right. I mean, you just got you a ring too. Your second ring.
Now you just playing for the money.
Yeah,
Legit,
right.
you just playing for the money because you already.
Nah, you right. I was just wondering. I'm like Buffalo. Whoa.
Yeah, because he's already like locked in for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you had to pay me to get out of there.
Yeah.
So, they paid you to get out of there.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, the Rams, they've done a lot of moves this offseason, gaining Allen Robinson on the wide receiver end. Once again, to go back, as I just want to know where they're getting all this money. And about this whole salary cut, does it affect them? Because they just throw contracts out like nothing. I mean, shoot. Sign me up, Rams.
Oh, maybe they just better with their money than most franchises.
Oh, yeah, I think it helps to have like a billionaire owner that just likes spend money.
Yeah. I mean, LA.
He just wants to spend winning at all costs. So the Patriots.
Why you say it like that?
They signed Devontae Parker. He's not a bad receiver, but
You sound so annoyed. You said the Patriots. You sound like one of the radio dudes from out here.
I mean, we're listening to too much talk radio.
Yeah,
But
you have.
they signed Devontae Parker. He's a good NFL receiver. I don't know how much better he makes this team, but there's another target for the young quarterback. So it's good to have a veteran.
We just need bodies, man. Sometimes you just need some guys that are just solid. So when we get that number one receiver, we'll be all right.
I mean, if we miraculously find
We got
one.
the draft, right?
Yeah, so the Patriots got this one, but they got they sent the 2022 5th-round pick. No, they received the 2022 5th-round pick, and they sent a 2023 3rd-round pick to the Dolphins. Yeah, so
We might have some.
it might be a steal, but I'm still. So the Patriots receiving core is Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar, and Kendrick Bourne. N'Keal Harry's still on the team.
Put the camera on me right now.
N'Keal Harry's still on the team.
Let's just see what they bring to the table, man. You know, I'm pretty optimistic with guys that get paid to play a game. So, you know, I'm hoping that they can.
Odell's still out there. He hasn't been signed yet. He's still out there. We could use him.
Yeah, I ain't even know.
Coming off of ACL. All right, and I ain't gonna talk about that. Eagles and Saints, they traded picks, but who cares? It's the Eagles. They're gonna do something dumb. They're not even sure about their quarterback.
This is true, my friend.
But they have like 3 or 4 first-round picks, so they got whatever. Let's go to Athletes Corner. Once again, these Athletes Corner interviews were done in February, so I know y'all seeing it late. But whatever, enjoy. This is Lynn Classical Girls Basketball. Then we're going to come back, do a little high school sports update. Oh, and welcome to another edition of Athletes Corners, and we have the Lady Rams here with us. Coach, you're back here. This is your 3rd, 4th time in here.
Yeah, 2 or 3 over the years. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Molly was here for soccer.
Yeah.
After that great season they had. This is Reese's first time.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Don't get camera shy. Don't worry, we're not going to ask hard questions. All right, Coach. You guys wrapped up the season against Swampscott.
Yes.
Correct? On Saturday. 14 wins?
16 wins.
16 wins. I mean, just talk about this season for your ladies.
First, it starts with a good group of kids, which makes it coming to practice every day and going to every game and every bus trip really fun. So it's a good group of kids. We had some success on the basketball court, 16 wins out of 20 games. Really played some of our best basketball down the stretch. Beat a Saugus team in overtime that had beat us fairly easily the first time. So we're playing some good basketball down the stretch, and I think we've improved over the year. So as a coach, good group of kids, improvement over the year. I call that success no matter how many wins you have.
Yeah, for you ladies, Reese, I know your role has changed throughout the years. This year, it's steadily increased each year. This year, a lot more. How were you able to soak that in and bear that responsibility?
Just become a better teammate. Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know, just have more confidence in myself.
Mm-hmm. Well,
bring it to the team.
What aspects of your game did you work on coming into the season? Because you guys didn't have a full season last year, but
definitely my defense, and that's a big part of our team. Mm-hmm. So yeah, my defense got better. So.
All right, defense wins championships, as they say. Molly, for you, soccer, great season in soccer.
Yeah.
Now basketball season, another winning season for you in another sport. This time span for you, soccer, basketball. I know you got baseball too, or softball, I should say.
No softball this year.
No softball this year. But for you, how's it been for you?
It's been good. It's been a good 4 years with this team, and I've always really enjoyed playing soccer and basketball. So I just feel it's good to have my senior year be winning in both, and hopefully we can go into playoffs strong and just keep the momentum going how we finished the season. And yeah.
All right. For you two, what were some things that you saw in the beginning of the season that you guys really improved on towards the end of the season?
Probably our effort. At the beginning of the season, it was there, but definitely during the end of the season, it improved.
Yeah, and I think that we've always been really competitive, but I think as the season went along, and after losing some tough games, I really think our drive to win increased a lot more than before. Mm-hmm. I think we all just worked harder than we did in the beginning of the season, and I think,
Coach, you guys had some interesting games. You guys had two epic games with rival Lynn English. And for you as a coach, each year you get a new group. How was it just for you, coming off the shortened season last year, the COVID season, and getting back to the full swing of things this year? How was it for you?
It was a welcome. To have a somewhat normal off season where we played summer league and fall league, and then we got to have our jamboree at the beginning of the year, which is a great kickoff. We got to have we got to start the season right after Thanksgiving, which is what we always do, couldn't do last year. It was just great to be back to more normal. Wasn't completely normal, but more normal for these kids because they've been through so much the last couple of years that it was really good. And I told the kids at one point, we talked about appreciate every day in the gym because you don't know. You don't know, especially in the height of COVID earlier this year, you don't know what tomorrow brings. So appreciate today and let's not waste today because this is the day we're in the gym, so let's make the most of it.
Was there a point in the season where everybody had to take a break because COVID outbreaks? How many days did you?
Yeah, our league, the Greater Boston League, shut down for a week right after basically the new year, the first week in January. So all the games, so we had to reschedule, which is fine. But it made us appreciate. It was 7 days without anything. So when we came back, it made us again appreciate every day that we have because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
And there was no canceled games.
We rescheduled everything, so we were able to get all our 20 games in.
Okay, that's good. How are you two? Dealing with last year, not being in the classroom, doing the homeschooling, however they call it. When you guys got back in the thick of things, how were you just mentally? How were you all just able to mentally get yourself, refocus, reshape, just back into the swing of things of going to school, going to practice, going to games? How were you able to do that?
Well, I think being in school, I feel it just helps us all a bit more because we see each other more, and then we're in the classroom with our teachers. So I just feel it's like back to how it was before COVID, and instead of like, you know, being home all day and then going to basketball for like an hour and a half, we're like able to have the full, like, I don't know, experience. Yeah, like we're able to be in school, and then like we see each other in the locker room before practice, we go to practice, and I just feel like it's just a lot better. It's a lot more put together than I feel like it was during COVID, and I really like being back in school and having things somewhat back to normal.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what are some things that you've learned in your 4 years, as part of this program? What are some things that's helped you, guided you through as a student?
Just like being a teammate, it's just like, it's helped me just even doing my schoolwork, having those teammates to help me and just have them with me.
Yeah. What are the two things that these two bring to the team that really help in the contribution of getting these 16 wins?
Yeah, well, first it starts off the court. They're tremendous leaders because they're great student athletes, and they just lead by example. They just do the right things. They make the right decisions. So that helps, and that sets the tone for all the other girls. But then on the court, Reese is our best passer. Has great court vision, really good passer, and Molly's our hardest worker. And those two things don't always show up in the box score, but as a coach and anybody who watches a game, they know how important it is to helping your team win. So they're going to be really hard to replace next year.
Yeah, excited to see where you guys where they're gonna place you for the state tournament. How are you excited for this run? This last run. So how excited are you?
I'm very excited. Hopefully we get a home game, but chances are low. There's still a chance.
There's a chance. As you said, there's a chance.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I just feel like, because it's like, well, I mean, for me, it's my last sport in high school, and like recess softball still, but it's our last like basketball season together, and we all like really love basketball, so I just feel like we're just going to be very motivated, and I'm looking forward to hopefully making some run in the playoffs.
All right. Were they part of they played in state tournament games before?
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 years ago?
2 years ago we were at Newburyport.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago we were at Newburyport, and freshman year I can't remember where we were their freshman year.
The gym was like blue.
The blue gym, wherever that is. Yeah, but no. So I guess of course, there was no state tournament last year. So, so for them, every opportunity they got in their high school career, they were in the state tournament.
Yeah. How's that level of basketball
It's very different. The fans are crazier.
Yeah.
Just the tone of the game is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, the environment's it's like really fun too though, like those high intensity games. I just feel like when the crowd's really involved and we're all just like extra motivated, like those are just the best games to play in.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Vic. By the time this comes out, they probably already played the game, so I'm just letting the public know. But congratulations on everything. 16 wins. That's great. Finishing off with a winning record. And before we leave, plug in your social medias, because I know that's what the kids do nowadays.
My Instagram is Molly Mannion.
Mine's Reese Brinkler.
We have a Twitter at LCHS Girls Ball.
Yeah, follow us.
You can follow us on Twitter.
They also got the group on Facebook.
We have a group. We have a Facebook page, a Lynn Classical Girls Basketball Facebook page as well. Yep.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it as always for you coming on, ladies. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Also, good luck with what you do after so you go to college and all that.
Thank you.
Guys, been watching the Athletes Corner. We're out of here. All right, and we are back. All right, let's do some high school sports update. Okay, some baseball. Lily Newhall from St. Mary's, I think she threw her 400th strikeout this week in their opening game for St. Mary's softball. So congratulations to her.
That's dope.
Some other news. Item Player of the Year for girls, Ursy Quiles. Congratulations to her. Ollie Berry. Congratulations to him. They've all They're also Boston Globe and Boston Herald all Scholastic team. David Brown Jr. was all Scholastic team. Kellen Pereira was all Scholastic team. Tyrese Garcia was all Scholastic. So congratulations to all those.
Congrats to you all, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Congrats. That's dope.
Put in that work.
Well deserved.
Josh Mcdonald from Lynn English. He'll be going to Endicott College.
Another one. That's dope. Congrats.
So Endicott got 3. I think he's gonna play football there too. So Endicott got 3 Lynn players coming in.
Go support them, man.
Yeah, it's
only
right
a couple
there.
cities away, so it ain't that far at all.
Yeah, definitely not that far at all. I haven't checked out a football game up there yet, so I might have to check one out.
I lived there. I seen enough.
Yeah, you was there.
But I might go. I'll come with you support.
Yeah, I got.
Go to the lodge after. Yeah. Go to the pub after that.
Oh man.
The pub right next to the lodge, so it's boom, right there.
Lynn English girls softball, they won their opener yesterday. All the spring sports season began this week. Make sure you go check them out. Track and field also began this week and all that, so make sure you go out there. Check those out. I think I'm missing something, but if I am, we'll probably get back to it next week or whatever. But
Trying to think what you might be missing.
Well, as we think about that, let's check out some throwback high school sports highlights. Check this out, and then we're going to come back with NBA Top 10 and wrap this thing up. We are back. Shout out to Antonio Anderson, new role up in New Hampshire at a new school. So he'll be there like a Power 5 conference. I forget the name of the school.
All right, congrats, boy.
Let me
My guy.
let me look up the school name right now. But he'll be going up in New Hampshire. I don't think I'm gonna be doing that drive.
How far though? Where he at in New Hampshire?
Bush Academy basketball.
Bush.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard of him.
Me either. I don't know where it's at, but congrats to Antonio on that. All right, NBA Top 10 plays, and we're gonna wrap it up.
You left me for somebody else now.
Do you remember the
I ain't gonna sing the
time?
whole song. I know that. It's my jam.
Do you remember the time?
Okay. Make sure you go to Lynn Community Television Facebook page, lyntv.org, the website. Check out everything. Follow Todd on Instagram, Mr. Burton. Follow me, Mukala K, on Instagram. Yeah, we'll be back next week for more hot takes and sports commentary. These dudes in this singing just messed me all up. Big happy birthday to Danny. You know, happy birthday, Danny. Oh, man.
The one and only.
Yeah, we out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Oh, Maddie's birthday's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's like another month from
It's
now.
coming. Well, you know how time flies. You know how time flies.
You got like 29, 30
You
days.
know, time flies. My cousin's birthday, the little demon one. That one's coming up.
What we gonna get her?